Hello, Miles. How are you?
Hey, Shane, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, except for this weird uh, candy cane graphic. I'm not sure why it's. Hold on. Here we go. Got rid of it. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, Shane, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I hope you are.
I am doing well. I don't think we have any viewers at this point.
No, our viewers will come later. Hold
I have
on. Oh, yeah. I can't tell how many simultaneously have. I think none. I think you're right.
Yeah.
So, Miles, this is, of course, the pairs session selection show.
Oh,
for
yes.
the Black Chess Ryder Cup.
We had selection shows music before. This one's a little bit lower budget, but that's just the world of chess.
That's the world of chess. Yeah, we're not fancy. We keep it all on the board. So I know you had Miles. You have some opening comments you want to make.
Yeah, well, now that we're here, I just wanted to reflect on just how brutal a loss that was by the Brooklyn Prairie Dogs on penalties when Dan Wachtel missed all 5 of his kicks.
Yeah, a bold move by him, scheduling himself to take all 5, first of all. And the kind of thing where if you're going to do it, you got to make them.
And he sure didn't, Shane.
All right, so Miles, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to flip a coin online, and that's going to determine who is white in the group game. And now whoever's white in the group game, in the pairs sessions, there's 5 pairs matches. The team that is not white in the group game will be white in matches 1, 3, and 5. Does that make sense to you?
That seems a little odd, Shane.
Yeah, very good. Very good. All right, I'm going to bring up a coin flipping thing. All right, I think, okay, we can get that up there. So, Miles, yep. I'm going to have you. Can you see that?
I can see it.
All right, I'm going to have you call it in the air. I think it takes a second to spin, so you got to be on top of this. Are you ready to go?
Fine. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm clicking spin now.
Tails.
Ooh.
Ooh, all right.
It is heads. We'll accept white for the group game, which means that, like I said, you guys will be 1, 3, and 5. You'll be white in the group games. And now I'm going to share a different screen. Okay. And activate. All right, so this is our lovely spreadsheet.
Very nice.
Okay, and so Miles, you and I exchanged lineups before. For this one, I want to explain to the folks that it's a blind draw, Ryder Cup style, which means that Miles and I both made our lineups 1 through 5 and submitted them to each other simultaneously. Now, for the singles session, we'll be doing it President's Cup style, which is where whichever one of us goes first, let's say I put a name out number 1, Miles will then choose to respond to that with an opponent. Then he'll put out number 2, I'll choose to respond, and so on and so forth. So that's how this works. But for these pair sessions, it was blind. And Miles, do you want to, while we're here, do you want to explain for folks watching exactly what we're talking about? What is the Slack Cup of Ryder Chess? What is the format?
No.
Great.
Yes, no, that's fine. So what we've got a Ryder Cup style chess tournament. There are 20 players, 2-0, and we will go through 3 different formats, 3 chess formats to determine an ultimate winner. The first one that we have not set lineups for yet, but we've got the group game. It sounds like the Northeast Corridor will be the white team leading off in that game, but effectively we will have everybody who is available that night, next Wednesday, play 1 group chess game, and we will do 4. There will be 4 moves per team, so that's 8 moves total. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of individual moves. There's no consulting on those. You start out and you go through your first 4 moves, and then everyone on your team will move into a breakout room, and this will be done on Zoom, and you will confer about the next 2 moves. And so you'll make 2 moves together then as a group, and then you'll come back individually and make 4 more moves individually, and then we'll break for another 2 group moves. So it'll alternate between 4 individual moves, 2 group moves, 4 individual moves, 2 group moves, until about the 15th move when black puts white in checkmate.
That's right. And that is the group game. And then did you just describe the pairs? My daughter is yelling at me from the next room.
No, I have not yet. So the group game will be worth 4 total points.
That's right.
And then we'll move into the pairs competition. The pairs contest is a series of 5 games. Each game will be between two team members versus 2 of the opposing team members. And so we've already set those lineups. We did it blind. We'll be revealing that here shortly. There will be 5 games, and what we will do is again, yeah.
Let me interrupt you quick. I've got to go deal with my child yelling, "Dad!" You're going to have to carry it for a second here, okay?
All right, that's just fine. Again, welcome to everyone except for Shane. He's gone now. You know what? I'll give you what you all want. The dog. All right. So again, your pairs games are going to be a little bit different than the group game, but largely the same. There will still be 4 moves by teammates. So each person will make 2 moves, but they'll be alternated with your teammates. So one person will make 1 move, the other team responds. The second teammate will make the second move, and then we will go. We alternate like that for 4 individual moves, and then again you'll go into a breakout room, and we will have a number of group moves after that. I think it's 2. I don't remember. Shane made this up.
Hey, thank you, Miles. Good time.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes. Okay, so I assume you just explained both formats. And of course, we have singles coming up after that. But today, we're doing the pairs session. So I'm going to bring that page up again. So, as mentioned, we did this blind. And so, Miles, we are ready to go. And so you, as white team for match number 1, would you like to announce to the world who you have playing in that spot?
Yes, in game number 1, White is rolling out a tandem of Alex Laws and Zach DeMayo. I believe some people call him Zach DeMoya, but he's very white. So we will go with Zach DeMayo in this one. So Alex and Zach are our first 2, is White's first 2 teams, or the world's first 2 teams. They will be starting off as White.
Great, and playing against them in black, the Northeast Corridor is leading off with our New York City guys, the Big Apple, the capital of the universe, the city that never sleeps, Gotham, the Empire City, Manhattan, as the Dutch used to call it. It's Dan Wachtel, hero of the Prairie Dogs, and Charles Starr.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's a tough matchup. But I'll tell you what, Shane, the Jews will not checkmate us.
Okay, my God. It was only a matter of time. All right, so yeah, let's we might as well make a production of this, Miles. Let's talk a little bit about what do we know about Charles? What do we know about Dan? What do we know about your guys, Alex and Zach? Zach?
Well, I know Charles made the 2 biggest blunders of the most recent group game by himself. That's all.
And I think for me that gives him a lot to prove. Like he's going to come in raring to go. He's got a chip on his shoulder now. He's seen people like me mock him in the Slack. And I do that as a motivation technique. So I think Charles is going to be good to go. Dan's a solid player. I played him a couple times. He's got a chess background. He told me he used to win in grade school. So I'm excited for Dan. Now, on your side, I've played Zach before. Zach's a tough competitor. I think he to me is maybe the leader, the assistant captain of your team, perhaps. If
I will say, yeah, Zach is very good. I went through. Zach has the second highest rapid chess rating on chess.com for any of the players in this tournament. So Zach is certainly a force to be reckoned with.
Yes. And then you got Alex Laws, a bit of an unknown, maybe?
Yeah, Alex seems new to the game, at least in terms of what we know about him. Alex has made some strong moves in some of the group games, but really haven't seen him a lot on the chessboard yet.
All right, so I'm going to go now with my number 2. We'll be playing White in game 2. And this one is a classic New England partnership between Trevor Thomas and Jameson Weiss.
Very nice.
Who are they going to be playing?
Well, and it's nice because those two are likely going to have to forfeit if their game falls on a Celtics game night. So that's very good for Team World. But Trevor and Jameson are going to be going up against Spike Friedman and Josh Delaney.
Oh, I like that. That is a classic Seattle, Texas pairing. The 2 locations that are most compatible in this world, some might say.
Hi, Shane. For the second time during this broadcast, my dog has gotten some clothes out of the hamper and decided to chew on them. So, yeah, Spike is about the biggest unknown of any of them. Spike hasn't been on the slack in about 2.5 years since his favored candidate for the LA City Council lost, David Ryu. So he's been in a bit of a spiral, but
he's been in a funk.
Yeah. But so we really don't know anything about Spike. We don't know what his game is like, but he's going to be paired up with Josh, and I've played Josh. Josh is very tough. He's a grinder, Shane.
Yeah, Josh is a grinder. I've played him. I've had my wins. He's had his wins. He's a tough one. I will say about Spike, years ago, like 4 years ago at least, Spike was the one who told me that I should be watching Magnus Carlsen play in the World Championships against Viswanathan Anand. And I listened to him, and it was vaguely compelling. I didn't get into chess then. It took the Queen's Gambit. I'm unique in that sense, Miles, in that the Queen's Gambit spawned an interest in chess for me. I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're one of 2 or 3 people who have taken it up after that show.
There's not many of us. So yeah, Spike is the original chess guy. Now I don't know if that makes him good, but he's the original chess guy. Now Josh scares me there. We talked about unknowns. Jameson and Trevor. Trevor in our private channel posted, or no, I think Jameson posted a handshake icon. Said this is me and Trevor being terrible at chess, as in this is our unity. So I have a lot of belief in these guys. I think maybe self-deprecation is part of the process for them. But I do worry about Delaney kind of leading the charge there. I know he's a quality guy.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like on paper, it seems like a pretty good matchup for the world. 2 very worldly guys, like you mentioned, between Texas and Seattle, Los Angeles, 2 of the bigger states, Seattle, LA, and Texas, of course. But it's going to be interesting, especially with Spike. I mean, now I've seen that picture of Spike as a youth, and he very well may have been into chess. So I think Trevor and Jameson have a tough road ahead of them.
All right,
whatever you want to about Spike, he won't watch this.
Miles, who is playing white for the world in match number 3?
Yeah, match number 3. This is a big one. This would be myself and Kyle Waisco.
Waisco, indeed. Okay. And that's a strong team. I mean, you are, I don't think there's any doubt, the strongest player, as far as I know, among the 20 people playing.
In history.
Ever. It's you, Magnus, and Bobby Fischer, and maybe Spassky. All right, and you're going to be playing me, Shane Ryan, the one opponent I didn't want to face, and my partner, John. What is John's last name again? Jacoby. That's what I thought. Okay, I was thinking Jacobs for a moment. I was like, that sounds wrong. All right, me and John Jacoby, my trivia partner, and I will say, together, John Jacoby and I won Kyle Waisco's trivia night, the first one. So we have a history of winning together.
Well, John also stole my syrup from Kyle during the White Elephant exchange, and so I really think there's some bad blood between me and John, and Kyle was involved. So this will be a tough matchup. I don't really know much about John on the chessboard, but you and I have had some big knockdown, drag out battles here, especially recently. Once you learn to read, and this very well. I don't really want to speak too highly of you and I, but this is probably going to be the best matchup of the fortnight.
I'm looking forward to it. And I'll say right now, Miles, I don't know if you're willing to commit, and I don't want to speak for John. I'm willing to YouTube live our match.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I'll have to talk to Kyle.
I guess that would mean you could see our breakout room. I don't know if that's wise.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem. I also know Kyle's wife has a little bit of an issue with him being videotaped on the internet after their incident.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah.
So we can certainly figure out whether or not we can do that.
I don't even know if legally he's allowed.
Right.
Okay, so that means we're going to match number 4. We are white. And, you're going to love this one, Miles. This is the Delco partnership. The brothers of brotherly love, Chris O'Neill and Brian Power Hour, Jack Bauer, Lauer.
Yep. All right. Well, those guys are going to be in for a tough one because in this one, we've got a pairing that will put your socks back on. In this one, we are going with Steve Melnick and Lawton Stroud.
Okay. Stephen Lawton. Now, Steve One of the self-deprecating guys. One of the ones who kind of.
Did you mean self-defecating?
I did. Yes, thank you. He shits himself with regularity. I hope Steve's children are watching. While people 30 years younger than him mock him on YouTube. So Steve was good enough to join. I kind of asked him and John. I wanted to get 20 people. We had 18 enthusiastic volunteers, and those guys are the late ones. So you've got him with Lawton, and I've played Brian. I haven't played Chris yet. Brian's a quality player. This maybe I give us a slight advantage here, Miles.
Yeah, I think so. Only because at this point, Steve is not allowed to move the knight because he doesn't know how it moves yet.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to learn that it can go up to and over one or over to and up one.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I'll give you a little insight, Shane, into Team World's back channel discussions. These guys were ready to be partners from the beginning. These guys stepped up and said, hey, you know what? We want to play together. We've got good team chemistry. I don't know how Steve feels about bidets, but I think this is going to be a wet and wild one.
Excellent. All right, now, who last pairing? You guys are white?
Yep, our last pairing is going to be William Dale Earnhardt and Ivan Dale, his last name.
Ivan Ross and William, a little North Carolina pairing there. I like that. Two natives. It's really your one opportunity, Miles, to have a regional team like I do.
Yeah. So these guys both live in Cary, and they love Cary, and so they're really excited about teaming up to play in that fifth matchup where they get the benefit of starting out as white.
All right, and finally, that's right. Finally, I have two of the world's most deadly and most annoying poker players. It's Damon Perico Suave and Lionel Pomerantes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Damon and Lionel. That's going to be interesting because, no, you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that, Shane.
I actually like this team a lot. Damon is the steady Eddie. Lionel is always going to be aggressive. That's his MO. He likes to get out and attack. I think they're going to balance each other. They're going to ham and egg it, as they say in golf. A little yin, a little yang. And, I'm into these guys. And, William and Ivan, I played Ivan today on 2 over-the-board games. I have to say, demolished him. It wasn't close. I think he's dispirited. I don't think he has a lot of confidence. I don't know William's game. William is kind of the dark horse of your team. But Ivan, I think, is just debilitated right now, chess-wise.
Ivan's interesting because Ivan has 2 different chess.com accounts. So when you go to do your background research on Ivan, 2 things come up. And there's one account that he has that realistically could be, the second or third lowest rapid score on our team. But then he's got another one, his account that he likes to play as a European, which means he's a natural fit for Team World. But he's got the third highest rapid score of anybody in the contest with that one. So I think it's really going to be interesting to see whether Ivan brings his American American background to this game or whether he's a little more continental.
Interesting. Yes. And speaking of that, Miles, it just reminded me of time. Did we discuss that? What the time is going to be for the group games and the pair game?
I don't think we did, Shane. I believe somewhere there's a 45-minute limit.
Yeah, I think half an hour is plenty for singles, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think maybe 45 minutes for pairs and maybe an hour for group. How does that sound?
So the pairs matches, I think we did decide already that the time will be 45 minutes for each team.
Yep.
On the pairs. Now, the group side, I think, realistically, we want to keep it to an hour. It's going to be a little tough with the breakout rooms and how fast you need to go and how fast we can get in and out of those. So I think we'll probably structure the game as a daily game or something like that, but with the understanding that everyone gets 2 minutes or somewhere like 2 minutes for each individual pick and 3 minutes for each group move, something like that.
Yeah, and most of them will go faster. So
right.
I would expect to be done within like an hour and a half for that one.
Yeah, I think so.
That will be the longest one. All right. Well, I don't know what else we have, Miles. I think we've done a good job here, and all I can say is much respect. I look forward to a good, friendly competition, and I'm excited to represent my country, the Northeast of the United States of America. And, we have great history against both the world We have great history against the South, where a lot of your players are from. I feel very confident and excited.
Yeah, I think so, and I'm really excited to get this underway once you and the rest of your players get back from your trip to Washington, D.C. this week.
All right, good luck, sir. And we should mention, start playing whenever you want, folks, and definitely start scheduling, right?
Yeah, I think that's one very important note here that I'm going to leave for just a second. Look at my dog.
Oh no, he's left me to stare. Dead air. The nightmare broadcaster.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to know here is you can start scheduling these games whenever you want to. This is officially underway after this broadcast, and so if Chris and Brian, Steve and Lawton want to get started tonight, feel free to do so. Please reach out on the Slack if you have any questions. But like, comment, hit that subscribe button below so that we get that ad revenue.
All right. Good night, everybody.